What's going on, football fans? It's me, J.R. Clark, back with another Truck Thought. Live, pre-recorded from the mean streets of, where am I at? Hold on. Marietta. The mean streets of Marietta. Me and Toby was talking on Tuesday on the live show, and I brought up a point that had me thinking. It was something that I was thinking about early on, and I haven't been able to really shake it as of yet. And that's the thought process of what this regime is doing. The thought process comes in the concept of being aggressive.
They may be internally saying, guys, we're playing with house money this year anyway. Our aggressiveness, and when I say our, I'm talking as like I'm the coaches and the GM, okay? Our aggressiveness was to dump this cap. That's where we were aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
You traded away Ryan. You traded away Julio. You traded away Ridley. You traded away Deion Jones. You reworked Jake Matthews' contract and you extended Grady Jarrett. All with the focus of getting this cap down.
Mm-hmm.
By being aggressive in the sense that they seem to have come in and their goal is to attack the roster, attack the salary cap, right? For years, we were talking about this team needed a complete rebuild from the ground up. And that's what Terry Fontenot and company seem to really be doing. So I think as our friends on the Out of Your Falcon Minds guys said in our chat, I think our expectations got turned on their head with the early success. Like what I was saying in most of the offseason and have continued to try to say is what I want is my team to be competitive. And other than the Bengals game, we've been in every game we played. Now, the book is out on us. Can we continue to be competitive throughout the rest of the year? That's something I'm going to monitor. Whether we continue to be a competitive football team fielding the roster that we're fielding. But it really seems like Terry Fontenot and company came in with the idea of we have to tear this all the way down, which is something a large contingent of Falcons fans were calling for prior to Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot coming in. But as we kind of predicted, it was going to be a painful process. And right now you're watching at times some uninspiring, infuriating football. But also keep in mind though, we've been competitive with this roster. You only have two guys left from the Super Bowl era. Grady Jarrett and Jake Matthews. To my knowledge, you only have a few more guys from the Dan Quinn era. A.J. Terrell, Jalen Hawkins, Olamide Zaccheaus. There's another one or two floating around somewhere that I'm just not coming to mind. But they have completely tore this roster down. And right now, it's filled with high reward, low risk guys. Like a Lorenzo Carter. Like a Brian Edwards. Like an aging Casey Hayward. Like, these are guys that you sign in hopes of reproducing the Cordell Patterson effect. Especially guys like Lorenzo Carter. Now, you roll into 2023, which is something we've all earmarked and all been talking about. You roll into 2023 without doing anything, according to overthecap.com, you roll into it with $73 million. That's before you do anything. Now, that's only 33 guys on roster, so obviously you're going to do some different things there. But $73 million before the first move is made, not a bad way to go. Now, you make a couple moves, one being either cut, we'll just call it cut, Marcus Mariota. You go from $73 million to $85 million. Okay? So $85 million, pretty good off of one move. Now, you make a few more moves, such as, let Lorenzo Carter walk. Maybe you don't bring back Casey Hayward, depending on what you do in the draft or free agency. Things like that, you go from 73 to 85 to 91. So, with just a few little moves, you go into the offseason with pretty decent draft capital as of right now, an extra 4th round pick, and you'll have $93 million in cap space. I know watching Mariota week in and week out is frustrating, and we want to see Ritter. And I get it. And I want to see Ritter, right? I want to see what we have. And I think we will before the season's out. But all I'm trying to say is keep your eye on the prize. 23 is the prize. Okay? Now, you were into the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes at the beginning of this offseason. I don't think that they were thinking that was even going to be a possibility this year. Right? So that changed some things. But that also let me know that they aren't going to be idle in the most important position. Right? Oh, JR, they're being idle now. Maybe, depending on your philosophy. Right? If they feel like Ritter's their guy, then they're just trying to get him ready and don't want to put him out there and destroy him, I guess is the thought process. But you go into next offseason, there's no telling who might come available. Quentin Nelson. There was another high-profile offensive lineman that was being talked about as like cap casualty kind of thing. You never know who's going to come available. You'll have the money to go out and get whatever lineman you want. If our wildest dreams come true and you have the ability to trade for Lamar Jackson, you'll have the cap space and the capital to do so. And if you do it and you plug somebody like a Lamar Jackson in, I'm just using that because that's everybody's fan favorite right now. You plug him in, you already got Drake London in place, you already got Kyle Pitts in place. You plug in another offensive lineman or two, now you're cooking with fire, right? So what I'm trying to say is, yes, our expectations were playoff. The reality is closer to what we are. And I think the coaching staff, for the most part, has done a pretty good job of taking a roster of backups and cast-off and making them competitive. It's not always looked like what we wanted it to, but they've been in every game. So I'm really excited to see what this coaching staff is going to do with truly talented guys. That's my truck thought right now. Appreciate y'all. Follow me on Twitter. I'm at Grim1128. Toby D is at Toby D1991. Keep your eye on the channel as we go live every Tuesday and do things like this throughout the week. But as always, Falcons fan, rise up.